guys, welcome back to my channel. So surprise surprise, I'm doing another video about pregnancy. I figure if I don't do them now, I'm just gonna forget everything because my brain is already mush and adding weeks and days onto things just does not help. So I wanted to talk about pregnancy from like week 8 after last time up until like the end, so around like when I left to go on maternity leave, which is around 34 weeks, because from 34 weeks onwards it's just me being, surprise, real depressed about shit. I'm just looking at the fact that my x-rays from like my 12-week scan are all bent. Great. Update, I guess, as well, we'll start off with. I'm doing okay, and I know that sounded super sarcastic, but I'm doing okay. I feel a lot better. That medication which didn't work or wasn't supposed to work does work. And I haven't been in as much pain. I feel a lot better. I'm not, just zogged out of it from all the painkillers. I'm in a much better place. I'm still going to make a complaint against the hospital and whoever else I can after this whole thing. But of course, when something good happens to me, something bad always has to happen. So I was driving in Eastland and they have ramps, and that's ramp. And a lady was in the middle, or much closer to my side than she should have been, and I like veered a little bit into a concrete slab, so now I have scratch marks all over my brand new car, and I'm going to have to pay like $500 just to get it fixed, which is super shattering, but it is what it is. It could have been a lot worse. So I guess I'll start off where I left off last time, which was that 8-week mark. I started to bloat really early on, and I thought, all my infinite wisdom, that was the baby. That was Jack. It was not Jack. I was just bloated as fuck. Like, I had to wear pants with an elastic band around the little button. They just wouldn't do up anymore. Great mum hack, so you don't have to buy matte jeans really early on. Elastic band or hair tie works like a charm. I got really nauseous, and coffee. I love coffee. Like, I'm from Melbourne. It's just coffee here. Made me feel sick. Like, I just couldn't have it. Like, I'd have a piece of toast and a coffee for breakfast and I'd just throw it up. Like, every day I would just throw it up. And it didn't stop me from having the coffee, but I would just feel absolutely disgusting in the mornings. I would eat so much crap. Weird stuff at work, actually. Like, I went through a stage of liking these breadsticks with rosemary and sea salt on them. And just that flavour. I didn't want any other flavour, just salt and rosemary. And it was really nice, but I would eat shapes and chips and just anything really savoury that would get me through the day. I didn't really want sugary things, but I would eat like lozenges and stuff as well, and chewy lollies. I have, of course, my handy dandy notebook to help me through the day, otherwise I'll forget things. This was around December, and of course every job always has an end of year party, and I didn't want to go because A, I was falling asleep at like 7 at night, and B, who wants to be the sober person at a work event? Like, no, it's just not going to happen. So I was just like, no, I'm not going. And everyone's like, you should really come. I'm like, oh, I'm just not into it. I tried to be like, obviously I'm super antisocial anyway, so I was like, oh no, I just don't like people, blah, 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 blah. And I thought I got away with it, totally. I didn't. I was really sick, and there were just days I had to take off work, really early on, and I had to tell my boss, and he was like, yeah, no, like, you didn't go to the Christmas party, and you said you weren't drinking, so I kind of gathered that that's the reason. I'm like, I thought I like kept it like so on the low down that no one would ever know, but I guess when you're throwing up all the time at work and you're falling asleep at work and you can't drink, I mean, someone's eventually going to put all the pieces together. I did have to tell other people as well, so I had to tell my nail tech because I didn't want anything in my fake nails, damaging me or Jack in any way. I had to tell my hairdresser as well, which worked out well because she's also one of my best friends, so it was exciting getting to tell a friend, and being able to go, oh my god, like the last month I was saying, oh, I can't wait till I'm pregnant, now it's here. I think it's really hard to also keep it a secret because you just want to tell everyone. And some people do. Some people, like my sister-in-law told everyone from like day one, like she was pregnant. And that's awesome. Like, you know, if you can't hold that excitement in and you want to tell everyone, go for it. It makes it a lot easier. And it's also great getting a lot of help early on. I just didn't want to. After that scare that we had, I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. I wanted to make sure the 12-week scan happened, that, you know, there weren't any disorders or diseases that we'd have to worry about, and then we could go ahead and tell people. And that would be in, you know, end of January, which was fine. So I guess onto that next, which is the next stage, because it's just, you're kind of just waiting. Nothing really happens. You get a scan at 8 weeks and you're waiting for your 12-week scan and the 12-week blood test, which will tell you whether there is a chance of Down syndrome or a couple of other things as well. And it looks at kind of all the, I was going to say genitals, it's not right, all the organs, and it makes sure that everything's working like it should be, that the heart's working, lungs working, everything's good to go, basically. At the 12-week mark, we had all of that. We had the test. I was just worried, like, again, I'm going to blame the doctor. I was just so worried that he would have something wrong with him and we'd just have to, you know, abort him. And I didn't want to have to do that. Like, that's, you know, I'm not against abortion at all. I believe you should be able to do whatever you want with your body. But I just, after everything, I just didn't want to lose him. I'm not going to cry this video. Like, third video in, let's not cry here. So we had the, you know, test, blood work, all that fun stuff. You can also find out the gender at that point, but we thought, well, we're just going to find out at 16 weeks anyway, so who really cares? Like, you can do, I think you can do blood tests from 10 weeks on now. Like, it's just crazy how early they can tell gender from blood work. But we went to an early scan place later on, so we'll talk about that later on. So tests were fine, he was all good to go, like, very low chance of anything going wrong, awesome. So we got to tell our parents. I was going to wait until, because my sister's getting married in early February, so we were just going to wait until, you know, that was over and that was fine, but it's really hard. Like, 12 weeks is a really long time. I couldn't wait an extra, like, couple of weeks on top of that, just couldn't do it. So, I told my mum, I'm like, oh, we've got one more Christmas present for you and Dad. We'll come over and we'll have lunch, you know, on the Sunday, whenever it was, or Saturday. It must have been a long weekend. It must have been, was it a long weekend? I don't know. Anyway, so I bought them little tops. I bought one for Mum that said, I love Nana, and green, because green's such a gender neutral colour. And one for Dad that says, Grandpa's little sidekick. And I wrapped them in Christmas wrapping so that they would think it was just an extra Christmas present. And we had a photo from the 12-week ultrasound they could, you know, put wherever they wanted. So Dad opens his present really, really quickly because, you know, I'm exactly the same, just had to rip it open. And he just kept saying my name over and over and over again. And Mum was really, really slow to open hers. And then she opened it and she just went, oh! Looked at my dad and I was like, surprise! And then I gave them the photo of Jack at 12 weeks and we had a family hug. My dad cried. It was really, really, really special. And then the next day we told Aiden's parents. They came over for lunch. And they kind of knew something was up because, you know, we don't really invite them over just to hang out all the time. So I think Jess had to get something fixed in her car. So Aiden's dad went out and helped her. And then it was just Aiden's mum left inside. So Aiden was saying, you know, can you keep a secret? She's like, yeah. And then I said, Mia's pregnant. And I showed her the ultrasound photo again and gave them a copy. And then just their dad came in. Just his dad. It was Aiden's dad. Aiden's dad came in and we told him. He gave me the first hug. I think it was like I've only gotten 2 hugs from him. First hug, got that one. And then Jess came in, and I always thought I would tell Jess first because she's been a rock throughout my pregnancy. Before that, getting pregnant, all these tips. Now she's just someone I can definitely rely on to help me out, like, for everything known to mankind. And then she came and she was super pissed that she was told last because I was so, like, determined to tell her first, and I just didn't. And yeah, then we got to tell, like, our families. It was really nice just to have, like, that sort of support. And then the week after, it was my sister's hen's night, or hen's day, so we went to this place, Bottomless Brunch, which if you don't know what that is, you get a meal, possibly, and you get unlimited cocktails, or unlimited drinks, basically. So I just had to sit there with my avocado on toast, because I now was okay with avocado, just not like sun-dried tomatoes, and I had to just have juice and say, oh no, I'm driving home, so I can't have too much. Like, it's fucking bullshit. And then the week after, it was my sister's wedding, and I wasn't drinking again, and I had to tell Aiden, I'm like, Aiden, please, like, keep my hands away from my stomach, because I keep wanting to touch my stomach and, like, feel him and just goddles. And I did apparently a very shit job at that, because when it came to being able to tell my sister, who was like, yeah, I already knew that, like, you looked at it, I was like, gee, thanks. Everyone in the family basically knew. I must have been touching my stomach so much, I just looked pregnant at that point, which would have been at 14 weeks, so a lot of the women were just like, is she pregnant? And everyone's like, no, she's fine, surprise. And I got so many lovely messages from family members just being so excited and so happy for me, which was really, really wonderful. So after that, we had our 16-week scan, which is not like a normal scan. We just really wanted to know whether we're having a boy or a girl earlier on, which you can do at a place. Well, there's a couple of different places you can do it around. We went to a place in Footscray where you can find out from 14 weeks onwards, but we waited around, I think it was just under 16 weeks, because I just wanted to make sure, like, what if we buy all this pink stuff and then we have a boy? Which would have been fine, like, colours are fine, but, you know, I didn't want to get all this girly shit, and then it's a boy. So we went there, and everyone in my family had an opinion, obviously. Like, every single girl thought it was a boy, and every single boy thought it was a girl. It was just kind of one of these things, and I was so worried it was going to be a girl. I just didn't want a girl first. I'm fine with having a girl now, because goddamn, the clothes are cute, and my niece is adorable, but I just wanted a boy. I just wanted a boy. And so we had the scan, and we're waiting there, and told, like, you know, Aiden's like looking up at the screen as well, and they do like the front bit just to make sure he's okay, and I, for some reason, this is what was blowing my mind. I can't see a boner, so clearly it's a girl, and I was gonna cry. I was so upset. And then they did like, oh, we'll look through the legs, and then they did like a little look up, and I was like looking up, I'm like, just this like little stick that I can see, these two little weird things, and they're like, it's a boy, and I was like, I was right. So I had, we told all our family, and they were very excited. First grandson in, you know, on either sides. And I had my nails painted blue and had baby boy written on them, and for Instagram, of course, and that's how I told everyone. But I feel like every girl just knew, like, even my friends, they just knew it was going to be a boy. Then we kind of move on, like, there's a 20-week scan, and he's fine again. There's nothing really, you know, that I could say is wrong with him at that point. It's just ready to go. I guess I really haven't told anyone this, apart from, like, Aiden's family, and yeah, that's really it. I stopped being vegan for a while throughout pregnancy. Like, I just really craved cheese. Like, I had 3 pizzas on a Friday, like 3 large pizzas on a Friday, and that they weren't vegan. I tried for ages not to eat dairy. It was just dairy that I didn't have meat. But it was a real struggle for me, because I was just crying. I just really wanted something, and I talked about earlier that, you know, you have all these cravings and stuff like that, and, you know, it's really hard not to give in to them, because your brain is telling you need something, and you just feel like shit afterwards. So I did have cheese, like normal cheese and normal chocolate as well, around Easter. And then one day it just stopped, like, just that. I didn't have any cravings for it anymore. Like, I just didn't care about it anymore, and I felt horribly guilty every time. But Aiden was so beautiful, and he just didn't care. You know, he didn't, you know, he wasn't going to shame me for eating cheese. No one did, which was really lovely. And I'm ashamed myself completely, but, like, I needed to have cheese, and then I didn't need to have cheese. So that was crazy. I started to get back pain very early on as well, and just hip pain and just pelvic pain, all of that pain, just because he's starting to now weigh more. My body hasn't had that weight on it ever before, and it's very confused. It wants to do things the normal way, but it can't. So I saw an acupuncturist who did nothing. I was in crippling pain after it, crippling anxiety. Love me some vines. And he told me not to take any Panadol, but I was like crying in tears. It hurt so much. Like, it wasn't for me. I saw a physio and had a pregnancy massage, like not just like a, you know, generic one, but a physio pregnancy massage kind of helped, but didn't. It wasn't until I saw like this amazing osteo that I actually stopped being in pain. Again, like, thank you to my health insurance for being able to cover so much of it. And that was absolutely amazing, honestly. Like, I've never felt such relief and release on my back. It just didn't hurt. Like, I could go 2 weeks without being in pain anymore, and that was just a blessing. I had not been in pain for such a long time when it came to like March and April, and that was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, K-O-R-U therapy in Churnside Park. Courtney there is absolutely amazing, and I'm going to go back to her soon just so I can say hello with Jack. And I did start doing water aerobics towards the end as well, with all the old chooks who were absolutely lovely. They're like, don't worry, there's like 3 or 4 nurses, so if anything goes wrong, we got you back. Absolutely beautiful ladies. And there were a couple of guys there too who were wonderful as well. And they're like, if you do it this way, you don't have to work as hard. I was like, thanks, man, that's super helpful. I guess, like, at this point as well, I'm starting to get a lot of opinions coming through. Like, you can't raise your child vegan. How terrible. What a terrible mother. Oh, you're not going to raise your child vegan? How dare you? Oh my God, at least you're raising vegetarian, aren't you? Like, people go a bit nuts at you. So you do need to, like, just smile and nod. It was one of the many amazing advice that I got from a guy at work who just said, just smile, just say yes, okay, that sounds lovely, and then don't do it. It's easier than arguing, which is really hard, and he even said it's harder for women than it is for men, and I thought, no, that's bullshit, but it is, like, because you're like, no, I'm the mum, I know what's good for my child, fuck you, lady. But, yeah, I just got to the point where I was like, yes, whatever you're saying sounds amazing, I will definitely do that. What great advice, amazing. You just have to keep that attitude up and just go, it's easier than arguing, like, this person is trying to help and thinks they're being helpful, who the fuck cares at the end of the things. So towards May, I had my first baby shower, so I wanted one for my friends and my family separate. Like, I share different worlds. I didn't want it all to come colliding, which I'm very glad I did. So the first one was at my parents' house, and it was all my lovely family. Jack got so spoiled, like, all these beautiful things, and Aiden's mum got him this beautiful voucher for photography. It was so lovely, and the photos have been so beautiful. I'm using them for everything. If you want any Jack related merchandise, let me know. And it was lovely. We had some really funny games. I learned a lot about the fact that I did some weird shit as a kid. Like, I told everyone that my mum liked wearing makeup and jewelry and expensive things and going out clubbing. She didn't wear makeup or a lot of jewelry. We just went to the pub every now and then for chicken nuggets and chips. So that was hilarious. Or this one time that I threw chicken nuggets around at an RSL on a Chuka, like, wild times. And then I had my baby shower with my friends, which was interesting. That was everyone just talking about the end of the world and, like, dying babies, and I just thought, my God, everyone else in the restaurant must think we're absolutely nuts. But it was amazing, and it was so good to see all of my different friend groups colliding into one and being able to work together somehow. It was absolutely amazing, and I would not have changed either of those for the world. At this point, my back pain was getting, like, much worse, so I was having to go maybe twice a fortnight to the osteo. Like, she was helping, and it was amazing, and I got all these exercises, but, like, I was just screwed. And, like, walking, like, I stopped walking to the station. Aiden had to drive us down to the station in the morning. I started needing to sleep in more, which I'm not a great sleeper anyway. And it was very much coming up to my maternity leave time, which I was very excited for, because I thought I could push it out, because, I just wanted to make the most of it and get as much time with Jack when he comes, and I need to be paid for that. I need monies. But it was getting pretty rough. So at 34 weeks, that was kind of like, I don't think I can actually last any longer. And I'm very glad I didn't push it out, because I was just wrecked and I wasn't able to do my job as well as I wanted to. I was struggling. Like, I could barely like talk to people. I just couldn't think properly. And my lovely team at work gave me this beautiful send-off, and we had all this amazing vegan food, and they bought me a little Chewbacca toy, which you can see in Jack's photos, and this Harry Potter onesie, and just adorable. I'm beyond blessed to have a great team like them. And then I kind of go into my mat leave, and I thought I would leave that for next time because it's not very exciting. It's just, again, me talking about how much pain I'm in. But that was my pregnancy journey from week 8 to week 34. Next week I'll do a video on 34 and labour because, as I said, I'll probably just forget them. But I also wanted to do a video on something a bit more serious, which I will have out probably end of the week. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you made it through another one of Mia's Storytime pregnancy horror events. I didn't cry this time, so we can all be proud of that. I hope everyone has a great day. It is supposed to be amazing weather in Melbourne today, tomorrow, and the next day, so enjoy it. It won't last. We all know this. Please like this video if you liked what you saw, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.